Welcome everyone, as we have discussed in the previous video about the introduction of sales, types of sales vouchers, and the posting of tax invoices. Now in this video, we will discuss what an abbreviated tax invoice is, and its posting in the application. At first, let's see what an abbreviated tax invoice is. An abbreviated tax invoice is also known as a sales invoice. A sales invoice is an itemized commercial document that records the products or services delivered to the customer, the total amount due, and the preferred payment method. It is symbolized as SI in the application. After that, let's look into the application. Simply go to the transaction, click on Sales, and then select Abbreviated Tax Invoice from the drop-down. As you can see on the Abbreviated Tax Invoice page, where the bill number is auto-generated by IMS software each time you perform a sales invoice. Now the invoice and entry date should be same as the current date. As you can see in this warehouse section, the default warehouse has already been selected for the user. Click on this section and press enter to select other warehouses as per your requirement. Now from this salesman section you can select the sales representative for this sales invoice. Click on this section and press enter to select salesman as per your requirement. This field is not mandatory, it is mostly used in B2B business. Now, click on this customer section and press enter. The list of the customer will appear. You can also manually search for the customer on the basis of these filters. You can now add a new customer from this icon as well. When you click on this icon, a Create Customer Profile form will appear on the screen, from which you can add a new customer. Now, rather than adding the customer through this add icon, we will click on this section and press enter to select the customer. To search for the customer, we will use a name from this filter option. You can provide remarks as per your requirement. For the moment you will be unable to enter anything in this flat discount section. A flat discount is a final discount that will be deducted from the net amount of this sales invoice. After selecting the items, you will be able to enter the flat discount as per your requirement. Simply scan the product barcode and the product which is assigned to that barcode will be displayed here. We have already explained how barcode works in our other video. Now, if you click the particular area and press enter, then you will be able to select the items that you have created through Product Master. You can also manually search for the item on the basis of these filters. We'll select the item code to search for an item. First, let's select the set wet, which is a VAT product. The unit that was selected when adding the product will now be displayed here. If that product has an alternative unit, you can select it from this drop-down. Now enter the quantity purchased by the customer. So after that, the rate column will display the product's selling price excluding VAT. Let's look into the amount section, where the amount will be calculated accordingly to the quantity and the rate that you have entered. If you want to provide a discount, then enter the percentage discount in this column, and IMS software will automatically calculate the amount of the discount and display it here. The total discount amount will now be displayed in this total discount column. You cannot edit this section. We will continue without adding any discount. As you can see in the VAT column, 13% of the VAT calculated from the rate of this item will be displayed here. This VAT will be added to the amount and displayed in the net amount of this product. If you entered an expiry date while adding this product, it will be displayed here. Click on this symbol to add more rows. Now let's add another item that is a non-VAT product. If you look at the VAT column, you'll notice that it's empty because it's a non-VAT product and VAT will not be added to the product. You can add many items as per your requirement. If you need to remove a row, simply press this cross icon. After that, if you click on this F10 button or press F10 on your keyboard, details about the membership and its point form will be displayed. We will go over each section here. Now membership ID, it contains the unique identity of the member that is tagged in the current invoice. It will display the customer that is tagged as a member in the current invoice. After selecting the membership ID, the membership name will be autofill in this section, otherwise, it will be empty. Now scheme, is a loyalty scheme provided to the member that is tagged in this current invoice. After that, referred by ID, a referrer is a person who referred that customer to your store. you can select that referrer name from this section, click on this section, and press enter to select the member name. After selecting the referred ID, and referred name will autofill in these sections, and the point will be given to the referred member, based on the customer they send into the store, and the point can be set from the point master. These fields are not mandatory, you can add them as per your requirement. Now prior earned points, this field contains the reward point that is earned by the member in the previous sales invoices. After that earned points in bill, it is the reward points that are earned in the current invoice. You can set the reward point for the product from the point master. We have explained about point master and how it works in our separate video. Now bill amount is the net amount of the current sales invoice. After that, click on the save option or press end on your keyboard to save the sales invoice. After clicking save, a bill tender form will appear on your screen, where you can select the payment terms and enter the appropriate amount for the items. As you can see, cash has already been chosen as your default payment method. You can use your mouse cursor or a shortcut key on your keyboard to select the payment mode and other options. In the first part of the video, we have discussed how to use shortcut keys on the keyboard in bill tender mode. After that, in this payment info column, you can select the customer's payment mode for this sales invoice. Now in this video, we will select cash as our payment option. You can select any one of the payment options as per your requirement. After selecting cash, you can enter the amount that is provided by the customer in this section. Click on Add to display the amount with its payment mode. If you want to change the payment mode or the tender amount, then click on this Remove button. After that, click on the Save button or press End on your keyboard to save the abbreviated tax invoice. This is a preview of the abbreviated tax invoice bill that is automatically generated by the IMS software. However, if you look at the print format of the sales invoice, then you will notice that the VAT column is not included in the bill, and it is printed through a receipt printer. To print this tax invoice bill, click the Print button. Now click on this View option or press F4 on your keyboard to view the list of previous sales invoices. Click on a voucher to view its sales invoice details. You won't be able to edit this voucher. You can also print this sales invoice voucher from the View mode. Click on this Print button or press F8 on your keyboard to print this sales invoice voucher. This is the invoice voucher that will be printed from the View mode. It is printed twice, so it is indicated as a copy of the original one. Now click this Reset button or press F3 on your keyboard to clear everything that you have entered on the current voucher. After that, click on this Back button to go to the dashboard. If you make a sale of more than 10,000 from an abbreviated tax invoice in the application, then it will be converted into a sales tax invoice. Now let's add another item, and make a sale of more than 10,000 from an abbreviated tax invoice. As you can see, after clicking on Save, a pop-up message will appear on the screen. Net amount is greater than 10,000, bill cannot proceed. If you click on OK, then the application will allow you to make that sale from a sales tax invoice. In this video, we have learned about an abbreviated tax invoice, and its posting in the application. Now in our next session, we will discuss the sales return and the report of the sales transaction.